Hey everybody, I'm going to give you a brief overview on how to host a meeting. As you know, well you probably know that when you join a meeting, just download the app or go to zoom.com and you don't have to create an account, you just hit join meeting. But if you have the app, it's more or less going to look like this, and you would hit join meeting, and the invitation that you received will have the meeting ID. You enter it in here. If it has a password, after you enter that, then press enter. It will then ask for the password. You hit enter, and away you go. Once you're in the meeting, you select to use either the video option and the audio option. It's always great to be muted if you're not speaking. The video option you're going to see here when we go into our meeting. So actually right now, I'm going to start let's just go over hosting a meeting. So once you're here, if you've created your account and you're on your desktop or on your app, you're going to see it's going to look like this, and you just hit new meeting. And guess what? We've just started a meeting. This is what it looks like. Sorry, it's kind of a mess back there. But you would just hit this to stop your video, and it goes right to your avatar if you don't want to be seen. And right here is your mute and unmute. If you see the red box or the red line through the microphone, that means you're muted and nobody in the meeting can hear you. And now everybody could hear me. If you've started a meeting this way and you just called your friends and said, hey, I'm going to jump on Zoom, why don't you come on over? Once you hit join meeting or start a meeting, then you just go up here to the exclamation point, and there you go. My meetings have passwords, so that's why I would have the password, the ID, and then a password. And here you go, this is it. And you just copy that right to the URL, right to your clipboard, I mean. And then you would just send that email or text that on over to them, and it would have all of that information for them to join this meeting. So technically, if you do it this way, you're Zooming right now, you're actually hosting a Zooming meeting, you just are waiting for people to join. So that is a really fast, easy way to do it, is just hit start a meeting, hit the information button, get this, or just use copy the URL and get that information over to them, and just wait for people to join. So we're going to end this meeting, and we're going to get into the traditional way, which is to create an invitation. So we're going to end the meeting for everybody, and then I'll go into some more features too. So here, if you're scheduling a meeting, again, you just, from here, rather than hitting new meeting, which does have some options too, but I generally don't mess with those, but that's if you just wanted to just start a meeting right then and there at that time. If not, you can schedule a meeting and you can name it whatever you want. We're going to call this Jeff and Anna, because Anna's going to join us. You can select your date here. At this time, it opens up a calendar. Boom, you can select it for whatever you want. For us, we're going to choose, we'll say 410. What the heck? Oop. So 410 is the time. The duration you can set for whatever you want. That really just tells whoever's joining about how long you think the meeting is going to take. But if you go over that amount, then it's not going to cut your meeting off. The only way you're going to get cut off is if you have the basic account. You are given 40 minutes. If you do not have a paid account, if you just have the basic non-paid account, after 40 minutes you will be cut off. So if this is a meeting that you want to happen every day, a recurring meeting, then at 410, then you hit this, and there you go. And it will happen right here. It will tell you right there. So you can do that. We're going to check this off. And right here is, I think it's best to just let Zoom generate a random number for your meeting rather than using your personal ID. Personal ID might be easier for people that you know. That way they don't have to keep writing down or get different numbers. So I guess if it's a recurring meeting, it might be probably best just to keep that personal ID number. So right here is where you would turn on and off your password, right, just like that. And it randomly generates different passwords for your meeting. If you want the host to have their video on when they join, then you click this. If you as the host don't want to have your video on, then you just go like that. Participants is the same. You can move them. If you want participants to have their video on when they join, then you can select that, or they can have it off, or they have to manually go in and turn those things on. The same thing here with their audio. They can join with their telephone and their computer. I choose both. That way it gives people a little bit more freedom to, if they're driving or something like that and they don't have, they can just call in rather than eating up a lot of data. These are great options, Google and Outlook. If you select them, then if they have synced their Google or Outlook calendars to their Zoom account, then it puts it right into their Google Calendar, which is great. I just don't know what everybody has. Some people have Google, Outlook, Yahoo, Gmail, or who knows, any of the other clients that are out there. So I just choose that and just send them the invitation. I think that's pretty cool. Right here, you're going to want to enable a waiting room. That means before anybody joins your meeting, you get a notification and you have to allow them in. So it's another layer of security. So that's why if you don't have a password and you enable this, they're both, one is just as good as the next. So that's a good thing. I would not allow people to join your meeting before you as the host, but if you know that you're going to be running late, then check that, and then the meeting can start, and it can start happening before you. But if you do that, you're going to want to uncheck enable waiting room or enable waiting room, because otherwise they're just going to be sitting there. So you probably going to want to uncheck that, but that's only if you're not going to make the meeting on time and you're the host. So I do have it where everybody is muted upon entry, their microphone. That way it cuts down on a ton of noise when they join, and, and it helps out the whole group, so there's just not a lot of commotion. Everybody just has to turn themselves on when they get in there. That's it. You've just scheduled your meeting. It's just that easy. Okay, and here is the invitation. You can copy it now to your clipboard and start sending out the emails, or get out of this and you can go over here to your meetings, and you can see we've got one right here, and you can copy the invitation right there. You can also see the invitation, but you can also copy it right there too. And from here we can start our meeting up right now. So we're going to do that. So well, first we should go over and send Anna the invitation, right? So let's send Anna. Oops, so it's asking me if I want, because I've started that meeting already, do I want to join with audio? Yes, I do. So I'm going to jump over here, and this is going to be for Anna, and there we go. She is sent. Oop, went to the wrong one there. We want to come over here. Okay, so while we're waiting for her to join, I'll go over a couple of the features here, right here. You can make it full screen, but that's going to be, let me get out of this. Oh, so here's Anna right here. So I get a chime. She's right now in the waiting room. That's why it's orange. So I can see the waiting room, or I can just admit her right there. So you have those two options. So I'll see the waiting room, and you can see it right there. I've admitted her, so now we'll have two screens. So once you have more than one person, you can choose your different views. You have speaker view, you have gallery view. Okay, so most people, but what you're seeing here is where you're going, not what you're on. So right now we're in gallery view, but we're going to select to move to speaker view. Just so that does get a little bit confusing. So the first thing you want to do is enable chat. And now in our group we have 2 people. So I can select everybody to see this chat. So I'll write hello. So now everybody, if there was 15 of us, 15 people would see that. But let's say I wanted to just send Anna a message through chat. Well, I would select her. If you were meeting with 15 people, you would see 15 people. You wouldn't see people that were on the phone, but anybody that's joining in on the Zoom though. So I've selected Anna, so now Anna's just going to see that, not the whole group. And it even tells you right there that it's a private message. So then you can always go back to everybody. So that is kind of a neat feature. One thing that I do have too is I have this right here, this nonverbal communication. Some meetings will have them, some of them won't. This has got a lot of neat features in here, such as I could ask, you could ask your whole group, hey, do you guys want to go out and out for dinner next Friday or something like that? And then you can see I can select yes, and then Anna can select yes or no as she wants. But it also has, if you by selecting this, it tells the host your answers. So you can also select go slower, tell the presenter to go faster. There's more options. There's I have to go away for a few. We need to take a break. Up, down, hand claps. Now you can also, if your meeting does not have that feature, you can use reactions, and you can do that. So I can do this and see in here, and you would have the same like if Anna did that. So if it doesn't have this feature right here, the nonverbal box, then you can still interact by using that too. The other thing as a host that you can, as a host too, when somebody puts like I put yes or no or whatever, you can clear everything by hitting right here, clear all, and it clears it all. If you want to share your screen, so let's say there's a document or a website or something like that, what you're going to do is you're going to go to share screen. I would say this before you go to share screen. What I'm going to show you is right now when I minimize this screen, the participants will not see that I've left this screen. They're going to see exactly this. They're going to see the two pictures of us, and you can see that I've moved away from that screen. I'm no longer on that screen. So you can do that. So you can get all the way down to your desktop, and you can see like this. So I can make sure that that was up. Go back here. Oh, I forgot here. When you go to share screen, sometimes it minimizes it, so you might have to move your box around to find your screen. If that's the case, you just want to hit exit minimize and go back to that. So once you come back to back screen or share screen, I have all these different options. So if I wanted to show this document, if I wanted to show you this is a website right here. This is a video program that I'm using right now. Zoom does have a built-in, I don't know much about the iPad, iPhone, but Zoom does have a built-in whiteboard option. So watch, I can share this. So once you select it, they don't see anything that you're doing on your screen until you hit share. So now that's what everybody's seeing. So you can do whatever you want here. You can choose from all these different options to create things, then just clear. Oop, should clear it out. Yeah, oh, sorry, clear all drawings. So, and once you're done, you come up here to the top, and now all those options that were on the bottom are now on the top, and you can select from here, and then you just hit stop share. So that's pretty much it with as far as that. And one other security thing that's kind of neat is if I go here, now that I know Anna's in here and nobody else is coming, I can lock the meeting and nobody else can join. That's pretty neat. That's another security feature. You can also unlock it if somebody was late coming. Then you can do that. You can do that right there. If Anna didn't know how to rename her little box there, let's say she joined, sometimes you'll just see iPhone. You're like, who is that? Oh, it's Anna. So you can go in and rename it as the host. You can go in and rename it. So I could just have it down to Anna. But the participant can also rename it themselves too, but if they don't know how to do it, now you do. You hit those three little buttons. Those are called kebab. That's called a kebab. Hit the kebab, and as the host, you will see all this. I can remove Anna from here. I can put her in the waiting room. Watch, I'll throw her in the waiting room. Then I can readmit her. And there she is. She's back in. And we're going to give her the boot right now. I think we've done all the interactive kind of things. So we're going to give her the boot. Thanks, Anna, for helping us out there. So we'll remove. You can also make them a host. So like if I had to leave, let's say I had to leave, I could say Anna's now the host. And then I can leave, and Anna would have all the controls that a host would have. So that's a neat little feature too. So, but we're going to give her the boot. So now you're just stuck with me. So that's pretty much all of those features, but the one thing I wasn't able to show you how to turn on yet was the nonverbal communication, this box. Again, if your meeting doesn't have that, then obviously you're going to use the chat box to do anything like that, or your video, you would just do wave like this in your during your meeting, and I'm sure the host will get the point that you have a question. So what we're going to do here is we're going to end this meeting. You just go down here by end the meeting. I think we went over everything. Chat, nonverbal communication, how to share the screen. Again, you can choose from whatever you have up, and you can go through and have things prepared. If you don't have things prepared, like while the meeting's going, you can minimize your Zoom meeting screen by hitting the line, and they have no idea that you're doing any of those things. Just remember that when you do that, it gets the Zoom meeting kind of turns into a little box, and you just go like that. So. Um, so there's that. So we're going to end this meeting, and I'm going to show you how to get this box, nonverbal communication, in there. And it's really, really easy. So we're going to go here. So now you can't do it from the app. You have to go to the website. So just go to zoom.com and log into your website, or log into your account, I mean. And so what you're going to do is when you get to the, after you've signed in, you'll have all these options. You want to go to settings. And this is where your settings is going to take you. And you want to go, there's a couple things that, to get that nonverbal communication, you're going to keep going down. There's a lot of options in here. First of all, you want to make sure if you don't see virtual backgrounds, this is why. It's turned off. You want to go in and turn that on. That's just for you to know that. And this is also, you can enable waiting room, but it does allow you to do that in the app itself. So the nonverbal communication it's around here, right here, or nonverbal feedback, sorry, nonverbal feedback. It's defaulted to off, I believe, at least it was when I set up my account. And you just turn that on, and now that box, when you hit manage participants, boink, that pops up. So you hit chat and manage participants, and they'll be able to communicate with you that way. So there's a lot of other options that you can go through here and set up, and when you set up your meetings, it will use these options. So as you can tell, see there's a telephone and computer, participants video, host video, all that stuff that I've already done. So that's pretty much the rundown, and I hope you've gotten some benefit out of this, or maybe learned a couple of things. And don't be afraid to poke around when you're in meetings. As a host, it's a little bit different because you're managing a lot of different things. But when you're in meetings, poke around, and you'll figure out a lot of neat things, whether it's the virtual background, the chat, the nonverbal feedback, those kinds of things. I know on the phones you have to do a lot of swiping to different screens to the left or to the right, and it shows you gallery view or speaker view. So don't be afraid to do those kinds of things when you're in your meetings. So anyways, I hope this helps you guys out, and if you need anything, you can always email or call me. Thank you.